welcome to our show. The topic of today's show is women who have stood by their husbands in difficult times and still get a bad rap in the eyes of the public. It was 2 years ago this week that devastation struck a family in the Hobnob Cove. I would like for you to give a warm welcome to our special guest today, Mrs. Sadie Job. She has traveled all the way to St. John's to share her story of heartache and to set the record straight once and for all for a comment she made in frustration and was completely taken out of context. Welcome, Mrs. Job.
Please call me Sadie.
Welcome, Sadie. Could you remind our viewers of the fate that befell your family 2 years ago?
Yes, I was away tending to my ailing mother, and when I returned home I found that all hell had broken loose. The only thing left of my former life was my husband. My children were all gone, our home, our livelihood. It was all gone. Thank you.
Are you okay? We can take a break.
No, I'm okay.
What do you mean your children are gone? Where are they gone?
They're dead. They're dead. Taken by God. They were innocent. They were out in their father's shed having a party, having a few beer, playing a bit of music, when all of a sudden a freak windstorm came, tearing the shed apart. None of the 7 children escaped. My precious babies, taken from me in the blink of an eye. Job spent weeks working on that shed. We used to kid that the shed was going to be better than the house. It would be his retirement home.
You said the only thing left was your husband. What else did you lose?
All our livelihood was wiped out. Everything we worked for was gone. Life as we knew it was over. Our entire fleet of fishing vessels broke into pieces and sunk.
How did Job manage to escape all of this?
He didn't escape. He's still alive. But most days he wishes he had died with the children.
Because he can't bear to go on without them?
No, because he's in total torture. Total torture. God took everything he had and then smote Job with boils. We have no idea why God would want to hurt my Job. He's a just and upright man. There's no one better on the coast than Job. Ask his friends. His friends Bill, Eli, and Sully came from all points across the island to be with him in his misery. They stayed with him for 7 days and never spoke a word. That's really strange for them, because they usually can't keep their mouths shut for a minute.
Sadie, tell us why you wanted to come here today.
I just wanted to tell my side of the story. Job is still sticking up for God. In a moment of hurt and anger and despair, I told him to curse God and die. But I did not mean it. I love God, and I love Job. I didn't want him to die.
You say you love Job. So how do you explain turning your back on him when you were the only thing he had left on this earth?
Well, he had sores all over his body, and he was constantly whining. I could handle the whining, but the bad breath, that was the last straw. I couldn't take it anymore. I told him to curse God and die.
You told him to curse God and die?
Yes, I did. And I've regretted it every second since it came out of my lips. He was fighting with his friends, and they were constantly telling him he must have done something wrong for God to be punishing him that way. What they didn't understand, Job wasn't the only one punished. What about me? It was my kids and my home too.
We're just about out of time, Sadie. Can you bring us up to date on what's been happening in the past 2 years?
Yes, I can. There's something I forgot to tell you. A part of the story I left out. There's this young fellow who used to live down the road. He came over one day and started spouting off his mouth. He was trying to tell Job how good God was. You wouldn't know, but he was a TV evangelist or something. He was talking about how just God is. Sure, what would he know? He didn't lose anything. He still lives home with his mother and father. And you know what else? God finally spoke to Job. He spoke to Job in the wind.
You're telling me God actually spoke to Job?
Yes, I am. He told Job to smarten up and start acting like a man. Pull up your pants, Job. Pull up your socks. Wasn't it just as well for that to happen to Job as to anyone else? God was really peeved off with Job's buddies too. Job had to say a special prayer for them, or they would have went right straight to hell. But you know, things have gotten a lot better since then.
Oh, it's wonderful.
The Lord does provide.
Yes, He does.
All of our friends and family got together, brought over food and clothing, even money. We had more when they finished with us than we had before. I've had 2 pregnancies in the last 2 years too.
2 pregnancies?
Yes, 2. And you'll never guess what. I had 10 children.
You've had 10 children?
Yes,
In
I
the
had
past 2 years.
7 boys and 3 girls.
Congratulations.
Thank you. The boys aren't bad, but the girls are gorgeous. And Job and I named them Cinnamon, Cloves, and Nutmeg.
Well,
And
beautiful names.
They're beautiful names for beautiful girls.
Oh, they must turn after their mother.
Yes, I think so.
So I guess that means that Job got over his boils and bad breath.
Yes, he did. He did.
Well, folks, we're just about out of time. Thank you, Sadie, for sharing your story with us.
Welcome.
Because it's not often that we get the chance to hear the other side. So I thank you for joining us today, and I thank you for joining us.